Hey everyone, this is Jose32, and I know it's been a few weeks, but this is Hit or Miss, and today I'm looking at USPC specific bicycle decks. Nothing 311, nothing illusionist, nothing Eric Dwan, nothing transducers, nothing, no other customized decks. I won't be looking at rider backs, or maiden backs, or league backs, or mandolin backs, or cupid backs, or anything like that that is basically the same. I'm also not going to be looking at any of the games decks like the Solitaire or jacked up decks or anything like that. Not this time. There's a whole bunch of decks to look at, so let's get right into it. The first ones that I see are the Vintage Design series. There are 6 different designs: pistol back, cupid back, safety back, tangent back, racer back, and new fan back. And for the most part, they're fairly standard decks. Some of these do have some embossing on the word bicycle, as you can see. I know that some of these have blank cards in them. That would be the non-embossed ones. There's like 2 different. So these ones got blank cards in it. The other ones have no blank cards. These are basically 2 different printings, I guess. They printed some, then they printed some more, and that's what you get. The only customization, sadly, is the Ace of Spades. Is a vintage Ace of Spades. The rest is not. For the most part, it's a nice deck. It's a good quality deck. However, because it is a vintage design deck, they sort of had a little more vintage in it. That's a nice fan. Anyways, they sort of had not just the vintage back designs, but they sort of had vintage court cards and vintage jokers. Sadly, none of the vintage decks seem to have any of those. While they're nice cards, they don't really fit the theme, so I'm going to have to say thumbs down, miss. I mean, I do like the back designs, I do like the aces, but they could have done a little bit more, just a smidgen, just a teeny bit more, but they didn't. Next we have Bicycle Pro Poker Piece. These were a failed attempt by them at creating some cards for poker. As you can see, they have indices in all 4 corners, and it's made so that you could peek at your cards while you're playing poker, or blackjack, or whatever. And I think it's a good idea. On top of that, these cards have a really good quality cards. Really nice finish and stock. I don't know what they used, if it was like an early magic finish or what, but they're really nice. The stock is nice. The back design's not bad. Overall, I like these cards. They're definitely a hit. They don't have any, custom faces or anything like that, but they're, well, it's about as custom as you can get. I mean, they're jumbo index with poker pips in the corners and all that. That's what that is. Good finish, I like them. Then we got these black and silver, white and silver decks. Fastened series, if you will. See what this one is. This one, you can see they got silver pips instead of red, black pips. Court cards, one-way design. For this one, this one's not too bad. The back design's a little bit dull. The gray color is not really nice at all. Personally, one of my least favorite ones, but the other ones I don't think are much better. This one is a little bit better with the white borders. Tons better, actually. but the faces are basically the same. These are two different versions. This one's more like a limited version, harder to find. This is a more common one. And the other one, it looks the same on the outside. Inside, it's much different. Half the cards are black with, I guess, silver pips, and half are silver with black pips. This is a major fail. Why the hell would you want a deck that has two different colors, cards in the faces? Especially ugly colors like this. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. It's just not my favorite deck. Personally, these decks, you know, they're good quality. They're bicycle decks, they're good quality. They get fans nicely. However, what do you do with that? I don't know. They're kind of a miss. That being said, though, there are some cards coming out soon. They're being released on the House of Playing Cards, the Midnight Ornate decks. One is red, one is blue. They have very interesting faces that have different colors. Kind of like these, but they're actually nice. Anyways, moving along. Next we got the Archangels. This one I reviewed recently. This one is very nice. Custom seal, custom tuck box. It's dimpled. It's embossed. One of the nicest tuck boxes they ever did for a regular USPC deck of cards, and also one of the nicest back designs. Other than that, I mean, you can get a double backer, but other than that, it's very standard. They did add some gold coloring to the faces, and a very nice custom Ace of Spades, and even custom Jokers. This one they went all out with, and this one is a big hit. Go pick one up right now. And I know what you're thinking. 311 designed these. They actually released them on the website today, but they don't say 311 on them. And personally, I don't care who designed them. It does say designed by 311 on the bottom. They were released by USPC first. Same with this one. It's just on USPC, and now it's on 311. Very shiny box. The silver steampunks. The cards aren't bad. They're fairly standard. A lot of silver color to the metallics. Custom Ace of Spades, custom Jokers. Pretty much the deck is, it also handles really nice. It's pretty much a hit. It's a little bit dull, I guess, the colors, but it is what it is. It's not a bad deck at all. Good quality. That looks pretty cool. This was their first steampunk deck. As you can see, big difference in the box. This one they went 311 style. This one not so much. This one, the box is pretty crappy looking. And the faces are all identical, except these ones have standard colors on the faces. Unlike 311's version, which has custom coloring on the code cards and everything. So this one, well, I like the back design and they handle good. It's almost a miss. It's kind of in the middle. Compared to 311's version, it is a miss. Even compared to the other version, it is a miss. So I guess it is a miss. They could have done much better with the box and with the cards. Next we have, this one's an interesting one, the bicycle tall stacks. I've reviewed these before. These are from 1992 apparently. They're very interesting. They're kind of promotional. Some coupons. Faces are standard. Jokers are standard. Ace is standard. The back design is anything but. Of course it is 100% a one-way back design. But it's kind of vintage. Kind of cool. I'm not sure why I threw it in there, but I did. This one, I'm not a huge fan of the one-way back design. I don't know why they designed it like that. But other than that, it's a pretty nice deck. It's vintage, like I said. wasn't cheap, and probably a miss because of that. Because it wasn't cheap and because of the one-way design. I guess, I don't know. Moving along, the Multicolor deck. This one, not entirely sure if it was directly USPC release, but whatever. I apologize if this video is long. This one I like. Multicolored pips, diamonds are yellow, gloves green, spades blue, hearts red. Nice colored jokers. Nice colors on the court cards and everything. This one is definitely 100% one of my favorite decks. And of course it has black right-back design. Overall, it's a pretty nice deck. Even though it's not extremely custom. Well, it is, I guess, custom colors. But other than that, definitely a hit. Nice deck. Next, we got Robo Cycles. These ones are pretty interesting looking. Custom, everything custom, more or less. You get some plain cards. Court cards, definitely very custom. But I'm not really sure if I'm a huge fan of them. They're kind of weird. It's supposed to be robotic, but they don't really look like robots to me. And the jokers are custom as well. But if anything, they look like robots from the 1980s. And custom ace of spades. Nice metallic colors in blue on this one. Overall, it's a pretty nice deck. It does not have white borders or anything like that, but it's pretty nice. Handle's nice. It's got metallic inks. Overall, it's a nice effort from them. Definitely not a standard deck in any way. And definitely a hit because they obviously went above and beyond what they usually do. They come up with something designed in the future. Space age technology, yeah, whatever. Anyway, it's definitely a hit. Next we got Tactical Field. These ones are supposed to be made to be durable. They're basically standard cards. Right of X is green is black. But they don't handle that great. Durable, yes, I would say. But they don't fan the greatest anyways because of whatever they put on it to make it extra durable for the army. For good cause, yes. Durable, not probably, I don't know. I would assume so. Handling, not so much, but overall, I don't know, it's kind of in the middle, unfortunately. Next we have, we'll do these together, the Gong something something deck and the Zodiac deck. This one, as you can see, that kind of a gold right-back design on the box anyways. On the inside, not so much. And everything is, other than that, is standard. You do get custom aces, but they're all identical. And they're not that nice looking. For me, this deck fails in a few departments, and so it is a miss. However, on the flip side of the coin, the Zodiac deck. It's almost like they designed this one, then they ran out of steam, designed the other one, and they just said, screw it, do whatever. But this one is pretty nice. Custom indices, custom court cards designed after different years, custom aces, and you know, it's very nice. It's different, it's unique. As I said, it's almost like they designed this one The ones in the backs are really nice as well. It's almost like they designed this one, and then when they went to design the other one, they didn't know what to do. But overall, this one is a hit, even though the other one is a miss. Next, we have the Stickman. And I'll just keep it brief. I'll try to keep it brief. These ones have some interesting court cards and jokers, as you can see. The Ace of Spades is also custom. And all the cards have these little stick figures in the corners. And what that basically does is when it's an animation, you can see it animates, but if you don't have it in a specific order, it's basically useless. They are borderless, but they're still pretty cool looking in the back design. And they're definitely different. There's supposed to be another one coming that they're supposed to be working on, but looks like they gave up on it, I guess. I don't know. Haven't seen it or heard anything about it lately, but either way, it's kind of a hit. It's an interesting idea. It's different. I like different. Next, Tragic Royalty. These ones are pretty interesting, totally custom pips. Jokers aren't custom, but everything else is custom. Court cards, kind of weird. Overall, it's a pretty interesting deck. Unfortunately, as a lot of people know, as nice as it looks, handling is crap, basically. It spreads okay, but it doesn't fan for the life of it. Apparently, if you use fanning powder, it will work. But I don't know, I don't have any, haven't tried it. Overall, the idea was good. Colors are okay. Quality, not okay. This one is kind of in the middle. Because it's a pretty interesting looking deck, but quality kind of kills it. So, in the middle. Speaking of which, they do got a new Halloween themed deck coming soon. The Coffin Fodder. And basically it has coffins on the back design and I think some interesting faces. It's coming soon. Next we have the Ribbon Edition deck. This one is 100% hit, at least this version. It's for a good cause, as you can see. It's got ribbons on it on this one. Newer versions don't. And the court cards, custom colorings. All the cards have these ribbons on them. Jokers are custom. This deck is really nice. They went all out. It's for a good cause. If you don't have one, you don't go buy it. I know the newer ones are the same. Not by a long shot, but that's only because they don't customize rider backs anymore. However, they are still for a good cause. And you can actually find some of these older ones if you look hard enough. Online, you'll find them. Overall, definitely a hit. Speaking of which, they got some new similar decks coming out that are out right now that you can get. There's an Alzheimer Association deck. There's a Necro League for the Necro Baseball League. Negro, I should say. Negro Baseball League. Negro League. Negro, Necro. I don't know. What says it? I can't remember. But anyways, there's those ones. Those are kind of similar. Like for good causes. They're out now. And there's many other decks coming too. Okay, then there's this deck, the Star deck. There's supposed to be a black one coming out soon. Sometime this year I would assume, but I haven't seen it yet. Basically it's very standard, as you can see. Except for the back design. Which is interesting. It's supposed to look like a vintage deck, which I do have. Handles good and everything. Nothing wrong with them. Except they are a one-way design on the backs, as you can see. But they still look pretty cool. And they handle great, so I'd probably have to say a hit. Next we have World Series of Poker. Again, you need to get a custom back design. There's some customization with the ace of spades and the jokers, but other than that, it's fairly standard. There's the jokers. And I reviewed all these decks before, so if you want to see a more in-depth review, just go search for them. These ones aren't bad. They don't have the quality of the Pro Poker Peaks, but they're still a good quality deck. Back design is not bad. And there's some customization, so it's all good, so I probably have to say it's a hit. Moving along, we have the limited edition series decks. I'll just mention that this one is definitely a hit. It's got nice back designs and custom jokers and everything. This one is not bad. You can see it does have a one-way back design. I mean, not a one-way back design, but it's a borderless back design. Not one of my favorite designs, but it's not bad. Overall, it's a hit. The only disappointing thing is that they didn't continue this series. It was supposed to be 10 in this series, and they stopped after 2. Kind of like the vintage design series, there was supposed to be more, then they stopped. But other than that, they are pretty nice decks. Definitely a hit. Then we got this vintage type deck. Back design's pretty interesting. It's more or less a rider back with some faded going on. They handle pretty good. The faces, as you can see, are all kind of messy. But overall, it's a custom deck. It's a good attempt. And it's a good idea. Obviously, they're trying to kind of copy off your Series 1800 decks. But it's not bad. Doesn't really have a name for it that I know of. It is what it is. Then we have Heritage design decks. These ones, I don't remember if they were sold for free or 11. I don't think so. So I'm not doing them. I'm not doing any of this one. So and we got different backs. We got a Cupid back. We got a emblem back, safety back. I believe this one is, yes. And a model number 1 back. Some nice back designs. Some nice colors. Nice boxes compared to the original Heritage design decks at all. I'll actually show you that in a minute. Had nice quality cards and everything, but considering their Heritage / vintage design decks, they should have put some vintage into them aside from the back design. But other than that, the nice decks. I like the boxes. Much better than the vintage design boxes, and much better than the old Heritage design boxes, which I'll show you in a minute. And like I said, these are pretty nice, and probably I would say a hit, despite the fact that there's no vintage in them. And well, it's kind of in the middle, I guess. These ones, oh no, it downs the box slightly. These ones got some kind of horrendous looking boxes, as you can see. And what we got here is a pedal, chainless, pneumatic number 1, and tri-tie number 2. These were the original Heritage Design series decks, so they wanted to go with the Heritage type of look on the box, gold and everything. Kind of a failure. The boxes are not that nice looking. The cards are okay. They're not your standard blues, as you can see, but they're fairly standard decks. And no customization. A little disappointing. The boxes are really bad, but the cards are good. But also the back designs are not my favorite, especially this pneumatic number 1 with a one-way design. I like the vintage design and the newer Heritage Design series decks better than these ones, so probably would say a miss, but still nice for collecting, obviously. Next we have these election decks, Democrat, Republican, Independent. They do have some custom back designs, as you can see in the images, some custom quote cards. And even though I'm not American and I could care less about their elections for the most part, I have to say these are definitely a hit. And I'm just going to try to speed it up right now. These ones are, for the most part, a hit. Fast and Series decks. The Pastel decks, not a huge fan of them. I don't really like the colors of the back designs in comparison to the colors of the faces. As you can see, they're different. And these ones are almost, I don't know, just not really my favorite. Especially since the borders don't match the faces. Those are definitely a miss. The Berry deck is definitely a hit. I like the color. And it's fairly standard, but nice deck. And this one, same thing. Pretty standard. But that's what it is. These ones are a little harder to find. They're kind of test decks, pink and purple. For the most part, they're a miss. They have to be a miss because they didn't print them. They were not that good, obviously, so they're definitely a miss. Then there's the Elephant Tsunami deck. This one's kind of a miss. I like the color. I like the back design. Handle's nice, obviously, but the court cards are a little bit depressing because they lack color. And the Ace of Spades, again, they could have made a bit of image of an elephant. But other than that, it's not bad, but it's kind of a miss, I guess. Although at the same time, it was kind of made for a cause for the tsunami, so same time, it's kind of good. The Equal Edition deck is a hit. I like it. There's a standard right at the back. Some custom coloring on the faces with greens. Interesting enough, there is a new deck out now that you can get called a Bicycle Hemp deck. Kind of similar, but different. Kind of interesting, a marijuana deck. I say go buy it. Freak out your parents. You're going to be like, what? Marijuana? No, not in this house. Whatever, that'd be kind of interesting. Then we got the Bicycle 125th Anniversary Edition decks. Definitely a hit. Nice vintage back designs. These ones, they did customize every card. They do have some kind of vintage looking pips and quote cards. They had a vintage Joker and a new Joker, as you can see, and they also have the Ace of Spades vintage style. These ones are how a vintage deck should be done. These ones are 100% hit, although some people apparently don't like the quality. Then there's these big guns, kind of interesting decks. Not a huge fan of the back designs, although they are vintage. These ones, with the faces, of course, again, standard. These ones are kind of a miss, especially since they tried selling them for a lot of money. They're like $25 a set at first, and nobody was buying them. And they reduced the price, and now they're kind of selling. This was supposed to be a series. They haven't continued it again, so kind of a miss. Then we have Dragonbacks. These ones are definitely a hit. I love them, especially the gold one. Very nice back designs, nice colors and everything. This is, they took basically a rider back, put on a nice back design, and it looks really, really nice. Then there is the Wounded Warrior deck. Fairly standard, but it's for a good cause, so definitely a hit. And finally, the Guardians. Not as nice as the Fear 11 version. Not quite as nice of a box, and definitely not, not quite as nice, but still a hit. And I'm running out of time because it ends at 30 minutes. My video, I'll stop recording at 30 minutes, so I'm running out of time. But again, like I said, this one is a hit. The box isn't quite as nice. It's still a hit. That's hit or miss. I'll see you next time.